By the way, Neil, just venture back, just generically speaking, you're a hockey pro, but you're obviously a hockey fan. You know, one thing I've gotten to some interesting discussions with before over a number of years is women's hockey. We know, obviously, Canada and the United States have quite a compelling and entertaining rivalry. You know, it's skilled, it's rough. I mean, it brings all the elements you enjoy in a hockey game, no matter what hockey you're watching. But the problem I see with it is there's only two countries that compete. Yeah, the odd time, I know, I didn't see the game, but Canada had a bit of a scare from France, the women's team. But realistically, there's only two countries that are, for the most part, regularly competitive. Now, I don't, as you said, I don't know that the National Hockey League is going to continue on, but to me, for an Olympic sport to be really Olympic, you need to have like several countries that can compete, not ones that are kind of like just like pylons and there for, like tune-up games. So I don't know if you have strong feelings about the Olympics. It's not to discredit the women from either Canada and the United States. Like I say, it's a compelling matchup, but if you only got two countries that have a shot to win the gold medal, shouldn't they personally, but shouldn't the folks that are behind women's hockey globally, not just in one country, have to kind of like grow the sport, and then when you get several countries that have a shot to compete, that's fine. I mean, at least on the men's side, yeah, Canada would be a favorite, but no one would, have their eyes pop out if Finland won the gold. Might be a bit of a surprise. There's a few countries that might surprise, but, for the 5 or 6 that we consider legitimate hockey powers, none would be a shock if they won the gold medal. Whereas now with women's hockey, there's only two countries that realistically have a shot to do anything. Do you think an Olympic sport should be one where there are multiple participants that have a chance to win, not just two, really?
Yeah, I don't see how you really call it a worldwide Olympic sport if in fact only two countries, our two countries are that much more dominant. I'm surprised that the Russians don't have a better team, but, Canada, what are they, up 8-0 on the two teams they've played so far? 5-0 and, or was that 9-0 the first game?
I got to check on that. I don't have it right in front of me. But
well, I know they beat Finland 3-0.
Yeah.
I know the United States beat Switzerland 9-0.
Yeah.
So, they're just routes in every game, and I don't know who wins the bronze. We know who's going to win the gold and silver, though.
Yeah.
It'll be Canada or the United States, either way.
And to me, to have, and I know sometimes you have that in men's basketball in, the summer games where, some of the countries get blown out by the United States or whatever. But still, at least now, you can legitimately have, Spain going head-to-head with the USA, even with all their NBA players. And some of the other countries, at least the games are respectable games for the most part. Not everyone, but, there's other countries have caught up a little bit. But yeah, I am surprised that they haven't been able to, where those countries where the men do well, that they haven't grown the women's game. But maybe I shouldn't be surprised because there's a lot of countries where soccer is the number one sport, where the women's soccer actually isn't much. Team Canada, women's soccer, has done exceptionally well. Same with the USA. Whereas in Europe, I guess they don't fund it as much or they just don't care as much.
Yeah, maybe just is not as much of a game. I know here when I'm in Canada watching TV, I almost think they go overboard to advertise women's hockey. It's almost as much as the men's at times.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, all due respect to the women, I admire that they go for it and that they work hard at it, but I don't know if women watching TV will watch women's hockey. I guess some will, but I don't know too many fellas who go out of during the Olympics, sure, if there's a game, I think guys will watch it, especially if it's a medal game, but I just don't know of any guys, unless they've got kids playing or their wives or girlfriends, whatever. I don't have too many guys who will watch a women's hockey game. I'm not being cruel. That's the reality of it.
You're absolutely right. I feel the same way. But, women's hockey's been around for a long time. People don't talk about it, but My mother played for the Canadian Championship back in 1936.
Wow.
Yeah, so it is. She played all the time as a kid in Winnipeg, and so women's hockey has been around. It's just over the last decade or so gotten a lot more prominence with all the funding having to be distributed equally between men and women.
So let me go back to the whole concern the NHL has with, as you pointed out, my friend Mr. Devellano pointed out, about not being much net gain for the NHL based on their already since 1998 participation in Winter Olympics.